Hello, fellow YouTubers. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Cody. Allow me to tell you a little bit about myself. I've been traveling here and there for the past 22 years. I've been to every single state except for Hawaii. Just about every mode of transportation you can imagine somebody using, I did. I've hitchhiked my tail off. I've hopped on freight trains. I've taken the Greyhound bus, the Amtrak train. I've taken planes. I've taken a ferry boat ride. I've taken a transatlantic cruise. I drove a $200 Honda Civic hatchback from Kansas to Maine, through New York City, Boston, to Cody, Wyoming, then through Chicago, then up the Rocky Mountains, and the car overheated, so I just simply ditched the car and started hitchhiking. I used to work for one of the, if not the very biggest trucking company called Swift Transportation, and I was a state-to-state truck driver. I would like to consider myself the modern day version of Jack from Titanic. I don't just believe in interacting with a young girl. I believe in marrying her. Eventually, God called me to advocate for child marriage. I wasn't sure at first what I was here on this earth to do. I knew it wasn't my time to go yet, but at first God would show me vague signs from above what my callings were to do, and then, forgive me, Lord, he stopped beating around the bush and he got more specific as to what my callings were to do. Callings with an S. One of them, out of a few, is to advocate for child marriage. I know it could be a touchy subject. I wasn't sure how to go about it at first. I wasn't sure what to say, what not to say. One time I was in New Hampshire, and I found this book called Fighting for Your Marriage, and it tells how to handle any hot topic. It's like a nuclear reactor. The whole idea of that is to generate heat, and if there is not enough heat generated, that defeats the whole purpose. The more that is at stake, the more structure and control that you'll need. The less it is at stake, the less structure and control that you'll need. And if there is not enough structure and control, it can cause a nuclear reactor meltdown, and it can take years to clean up the mess. There's a book called Behind the Veil of Vice, which was written by John R. Bradley. And it says that in Yemen and Saudi Arabia, there's no minimum age limit for marriage. And I hear there's about 5 states now where that's the case in the US now. I know so much in the world about how to use much structure and control. I know how to find a compatible mate that most of those sayings you hear are not true. That one that says opposites attract, when it comes to personalities, many times that's not the case. I know about body types, blood types, personality types, learning styles, conversational styles. There's a book called The Color Codes, or The Color Code. There's the Alpha, Beta, and Sigma personalities. There's the Dove, Peacock, Owl, and Eagle personalities. There's zodiac signs. There's a book called Relationships 5.0. There's a book called Strength Finder 2.0. And I'm sure there's more to mention that I haven't recalled off the top of my head. I didn't bring my notes, but I was locked up in Michigan, Montana, Southern California, and here, Salt Lake City, and like about a few days in Kansas, but that's really not worth mentioning. But I had to learn to be competent to stand trial, as they called it in Michigan, and competent, I'm sorry, fit to proceed with trial, as they called it in Montana. I can't remember what they called it in Southern California, but and here in Salt Lake City, they already found me competent. You know what I'm saying? So I know that I know so much about how to use much structure and control for child marriage, and I know how to find a compatible mate. And when I do find my compatible mate, I will say to her, I will teach her to be fit to proceed with marriage. And I will say to her, just like they say in court, did you make this decision intelligently and no one forced you to make this decision, etc. Now, how's this for underage? There's a book called Bond with Your Baby Before Birth, which was written by Kim O'Neill. So anyways, I got all kinds of knowledge to share from my past 22 years of traveling here and there. One thing I learned is how to keep perfectly healthy teeth. Maybe not so much straightened, crooked teeth, because my teeth is slightly misaligned, but I've hardly ever used any oral hygiene product ever. And if it wasn't for these people in this jail in Southern California, they did something to the stuff I consumed. And they gave us small amounts of food, and Then they gave us unhealthy food, like sugary food. And one time I ate these, I don't even know what kind of brand of Frosted Flakes, but they were about as crunchy as glass. They were sugary Frosted Flakes. And one time during breakfast, I got this Frosted Flake stuck in between this cluster of two teeth. And I went to go pick it out, and it chipped the inward tooth. And then that one corroded away to a little stub. And then the inner part of my outer tooth got corroded a little bit. Basically, my secret to having healthy teeth is avoid white granulated sugar. Because when I was locked up in Southern California, I learned from this African dude that it's white granulated sugar that rots out your teeth if you don't consume it in moderation. I wouldn't consume it at all, really. I consumed some just recently, but I'm not going to consume it anymore shortly from now. But he said white granulated sugar is processed with bleach, and that's what corrodes your teeth. And so basically, besides those two teeth, I don't have any cavities or cavity fillings. And I went to 2 different trade schools called Job Corps centers, one in Kansas, and a year and a half later, one in Clearfield, Utah, here in the Salt Lake City area. And that was for about 1 year and 7 months, roughly. And 98 to 99% of the entire time, the only fluids I ever drank was nothing but milk, which has calcium and vitamin D, which strengthens your bones, which your teeth are. But anyways, this is my second video, and I got all kinds of other travel stories and secrets to share with you guys. So I'll keep you all posted. Till next time, till the next episode. Bye for now.